I'm all about boosting bone strength and bone density in natural ways without the dangerous drugs. I did it myself. I reversed osteoporosis when I was 61 years old without the drugs. I'm GloryB and this is GloryB-TV, a lifestyle channel for mature women who want to look fabulous, feel amazing, and age gracefully. Here are my tips for boosting your bone strength and bone density naturally. Make exercise a priority by scheduling it into your actual schedule. I was talking with a friend about this a few days ago when I said the only way I can do exercise regularly is by getting it on my schedule. Years ago, I worked out at a gym in late afternoon. Now, I need to get my exercise in first thing in the morning. For everyone who has osteoporosis, you can do some type of weight-bearing exercise such as weight training. Either get yourself to a gym near where you live or work, or buy some weights to use at home and then learn how to use them. You can also do resistance training with bands, and some exercise that is good for building bone doesn't even require separate equipment such as push-ups and wall sits. My friend Dr. Shostek gave me some advice in the past for how to build up to doing 100 push-ups, starting when I could only do 2 push-ups. I talked about all of that in this video. Dr. Shostek and I discussed several types of exercise in this video too, including how to gradually work up to doing a wall sit for 2 minutes. Of course, walking is great for a light version of building bone. I always wear running shoes for exercise, by the way, because running shoes can take the most impact. To take your bone building exercise to the next level, the next thing I suggest are heel drops and march walking. I demonstrated these exercises in this video. Some people choose to not wear shoes for heel drops, but I do because I've had bunion surgery and I don't take chances with my feet. If your osteoporosis isn't too bad, consider doing stomping exercises. I showed how to do the stomping exercises in this video. You can do this for 1 minute at a time, really at any time of the day. If your bones are in osteopenia, or if like me, your osteoporosis diagnosis was in one place and it was just past osteopenia, then jumping is one of the best exercises to do. I showed how I do the jumping exercise in this video. This is what I added to my exercise routine after I got the osteoporosis diagnosis in my lumbar spine. I did the jumps according to a study that is linked in that video's description box. Now, while I'm on the topic of the description box, make sure you know how to open it. Everything I tell you about is linked in the video's description box. To get to it, go below the video, and whenever and wherever you see the word more, tap it or click it. Then scroll through the box to find the videos I'm mentioning. And any products I mention or articles I mention, really anything and everything will be there. What other exercises can you do? Well, several years ago, I realized that falling is bad. In order to make sure I don't fall, I incorporate strength exercises for my entire core area, and that includes abdominals and glutes. And I also do some stretching for deep inside my hips, quads, and hamstrings. I have 2 videos to strengthen the glutes, a beginner and an intermediate level. And I have 2 videos to strengthen the abdominals, also a beginner and an intermediate level video. I have 2 other videos with exercises that help keep you from falling. That becomes more important the older we get. The point is, if you're not doing these exercises regularly now, you need to add it to your schedule. I get up at 5 a.m. Monday through Friday and I do the exercises first. That way, nothing else will get in the way of this important part of boosting my own bone strength and bone density naturally. When your body is more alkaline on the inside, it will give your bones a better chance at building real, strong bone at the cellular level. Eating foods that create an alkaline condition will help you do this. Which foods does this include? Well, dark leafy greens such as kale, spinach, arugula, collard greens, and chard. You can add these greens to salads or lightly steam or saute them. A friend of mine joined a CSA for the summer, a community-supported agriculture, and she'll get a box of vegetables every week. She knows it will include a lot of kale. She asked me, what am I going to do with all this kale? I told her I chop it up or I buy mine already chopped. I use a large saucepan or a very large frying pan. I heat up some vegetable broth, then I saute onions and mushrooms, adding some garlic powder or even chopped garlic. Then I add the chopped kale, put a lid on the pan, and in 5 minutes or so, the kale is lightly steamed. It's delicious without being overcooked. Other vegetables to include in your diet are root vegetables like carrots, parsnips, and potatoes, cooked beans, raw nuts and seeds, and all kinds of fruit balance out an alkaline diet that is good for your bones. Just as important as what you eat is what you don't eat. Foods that don't create an alkaline body but that create an acidic body will leach minerals right from your bones. Which foods create an acidic condition? Well, meat, dairy, sugar, and gluten. And what about liquids? Well, alcohol contributes to an acidic body, and so do colas and coffee. Consider eliminating these foods and drinks or limiting them to an extreme. Having an optimal level of vitamin D in your body will contribute to healthy bone and to bone strength. I once heard Dr. Joel Fuhrman say, you should only supplement with vitamin D if you plan to get your blood tested for vitamin D regularly. And by regularly, he meant once or twice per year. That's the only way you'll know how much vitamin D supplement to take. Just because you're outside every day for your work doesn't mean your vitamin D level is good. The guy who trimmed my trees in my yard was outside for his business nearly every day. He assumed his vitamin D level was fine. But then in 2020, he got this. Yeah, so badly that he had to be hospitalized for low oxygen. I asked him if they tested his blood for vitamin D while he was in the hospital, and he said yes, and it was low, and he was surprised. It never occurred to him to get his blood tested for vitamin D because he was outside every day. Don't assume. And it's irresponsible for your doctor to tell you how much vitamin D3 supplement to take without testing your blood. And besides that, most doctors read the wrong literature about what is the best vitamin D level for your blood. Now, after going over this many times for years, reading about it, studying it, I aim to get my vitamin D level between 70 and 85 ng/ml, which is nanograms per milliliter. Even better, several years ago, I enrolled in a vitamin D study, and my blood gets tested twice a year. That way, I know how much supplement to take. I've noticed that when I've been through stressful times, my vitamin D level in my blood goes down, even though I'm taking the same amount of D3 supplement. So this tells me when I'm under a lot of stress, I need to increase the amount of supplement I'm taking. You can also join this vitamin D study, which is led by Grassroots Health. I have a link for you in the description box below to check it out. They're learning many things about how protective a vitamin D level between 70 and 85 is for the human body. It helps my immunity stay high. The last time I had the flu was 1975. I've had colds, but not the flu. And we know that sufficient vitamin D helps the bones to remain strong. Dr. Shostek and I have discussed supplements for building strong bone over several videos. She continues to learn more about this. In our earlier videos, we discussed what each of us were going to do for our supplementation. If there are changes to that, I've made notes in that video's description box. We've done subsequent videos too. On my osteoporosis playlist here on YouTube, the videos are listed with the most recent video at the top of the list. When I reversed osteoporosis, I took the Garden of Life Grow Bone System. I still take that, but I cut back on the number of capsules I take each day. There's also AlgaCal, which is similar to Garden of Life product, but it's more expensive. We've also added the Vital Nutrients K2-7, which is also known as MK7. Dr. Shostek has been doing telemedicine with several of my viewers to help them navigate changes they need to make to their diet, supplementation, and exercises in order to reverse osteoporosis naturally and to create real strong bones. I'll have a link to her website's contact page in the description box below the video. Check out one of my other videos on the right side of the screen, and I'll see you in the next video.